Hey everyone, thank you for listening to another episode of Spoiler Force Podcast, courtesy of Poplug Podcast. You can find more episodes of Spoiler Force Podcast at facebook.com/poplugpodcast or on YouTube and SoundCloud under Spoiler Force Podcast. Alright, and we are live. This is Spoiler Force Podcast, episode 6, June 9th, 2019. This is another great episode because I have a first guest finally. He was in the film Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood, and that's a big cultural thing for Hmong people because that was a, I guess, mainstream film for Hmong people, and especially with Clint Eastwood. Great guy. I never got to meet him, but because of the person I'm interviewing today, I got to meet the Hmong Actors there, and so I just want to introduce my cousin Lee Mong Vang. Thank you for coming through and just giving this time to have this just a little podcast here. So is this your first podcast that you've ever done?
Yeah. It's a little awkward. It's different. Yeah.
Podcasting. It's it took a while for me to even get more comfortable. I just got back into it a month ago, and I was doing this with podcasting with Mark and Andrew.
You know. I know Andrew.
Shouts out to Pop Luck Podcast. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know how to do this, and I wouldn't be using their Facebook page. So I have a good little following because of them. But yeah, man, like it's insane. It Gran Torino, and that was 10 years ago. Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
That was a long time ago. I remember when our cousin yelled at me. He had the what was it, the lines for
the script.
Yeah, the script for B, right? And then I went to his house one day, and his mom was like, "Ricky, you should try this too because everyone's going for it." And I saw the script. I was like, "This is not real." And then like I was reading through the script and stuff. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like it's pretty legit. And I remember like a lot of Hmong people that we know. They were like auditioning. Like Suvi's, Suvi, he auditioned for V, and he told me his experience, and he was like, "Yeah, they told me that my English was too good, so they didn't cast him."
Yeah, you had to be kind of Fabi. You had to be one of those fresh off the boat gangsters, Hmong gangsters.
Now, how did you get your audition? How did that all go through?
Well, the thing was, I heard that they came to Michigan for the auditioning, but I never went. I never went in line. I never even thought about it because I'm a laid back person. I just go to work, go fishing, hang out with my family, whatever. But Chin.
Yeah.
Chin was like, "Dude, you should audition for Gran Torino. They're looking for Hmong gangsters, and you have tattoos, and you look the part." And I'm just like, "Oh shit! Like, I'll think about it." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna set up a date for you. You have to go." So it was like on a Thursday. He had a date set up for me, but I skipped out and went fishing instead. And like when he found out about it, he was sorry, Chin, back then, but Chin was super pissed. He's like, "I'm gonna get you one more fucking audition. You gotta go, man, because you're just a natural at everything you do. You'll get it." And I'm just like, all right. So when I finally went, there was like no line. I never got the script till I got there and auditioned with the girl. I forgot what her name was, but she gave me the script, and she's just like, "Yeah, just skim through it. You can freestyle it if you want, whatever." So basically, we did this scene where we were on the porch.
Was that when
when Spider went up the porch and stuff, and we're trying to drag B off the Tao.
Yeah.
We're trying to drag him off the porch because he's in our gang, whatever. So I freestyled that part, and basically all I did was cuss her out. Like, "Oh, you stupid bitch, get the fuck out of my face." But I did like really mean, like for serious, And she was like, "Oh my god, it was so good, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Yeah." And then after that, and I called Chin. I'm like, "Okay, I auditioned. Are you happy?" And he's like, "Yes, man. You got it. Like everybody that knew I auditioned for it, they were like super confident that I was gonna get it. But me, I didn't even care about it. You know what I'm saying? I left the audition and went straight to, like 9 Mile Pier to go fishing. And then a week later, Cedric.
Yeah.
Cedric called me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, cuz? I saw your audition tape, man. It was really good." And then I was just like, "Oh, you seen it?" He's just like, "Yeah, man, it's really good, dude. I didn't think you had it in you, you're a cool guy and stuff, but I didn't think you were into acting and stuff. I'm like, I'm not. You know, you blame Chin for this shit. You know. And he's like, well, if you get it, you think about, are you gonna do it? I'm like, I don't know, man. I got my regular job to go to, and you know, got bills to pay, blah 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 blah. And he's just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry, they'll pay you good, dude. The role that you get, they're gonna pay you good. So I didn't think about it. I'm like, I'm not Hollywood. I don't care about this stuff, right? And then 2 weeks after that, I got this phone call from Warner Brothers. It was like, hey, Mr. Vang, we just want to let you know that you got one of the parts for you're one of the gang members, or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So you think about accepting it? I'm like, just let me talk to my family about it. You know, like anybody else would have been like, oh my god. But I'm just like, let me think it over. They're like, okay, well, just reach us at this number, blah blah blah, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And then right after that phone call was done, like a few hours later, Cedric called back, and Cedric was like, yo, I heard you got the part, man. You gotta take it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I might be kind of camera scared or whatever, you know? Camera shy. And he's just like, dude, you got it, man. You got it. You're natural. You got it. And then I'm like, okay. And I talked to my wife about it, and she's like, it's a once-in-a-lifetime type of thing. Just do it. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. In my head, I'm like, I don't care for it, but when I went in and I signed the contract and stuff like that, and they showed me like my pay rate and all that shit, I'm just like, holy cow. All right. So I'll do it. And yeah, that's that, man.
Did you meet Clint that day when you were doing all the paperwork at all?
Oh no, I didn't meet nobody. The only people I met was the costume people, the makeup people, and mainly like some of the producers.
Oh, is it just more like production on the set and stuff?
Yeah, but you know me, I'm kind of a dick, so I didn't care about people.
Yeah.
I just saw the money, was like, yes.
Now, how did Cedric, how was he involved with the whole thing? Was he like a production guy too?
Yeah, he was part of the production team. He was part of the cast and crew. Like, you know, he would like signal like traffic and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Tell everybody to be quiet on the set.
Oh, okay, like that's cool.
So
yeah,
it was kind of like, oh my bad. But
no, yeah, go ahead.
It was comforting for me to know that there was people that I knew that was around. So that kind of kept me cool.
Yeah, because like I only knew about how he was on the set because my parents kind of know him too, and so they're like they always mention Cedric because he's always like in that kind of field of production and on the sets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've known Cedric for a long time. I've known him since like high school. Yeah, I love the guy though. He's a really good guy, and like he looked after me when we were filming and stuff. He's like, dude, you just gotta. It's okay, man. Just be yourself, dude, because you're a good guy and stuff like that. So he was always, and like I always had my good friends like had my back, you know. So it was all gravy because there's people that I knew that was there.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty. Like thinking about it, like now, like since it's been so long, like do you still keep in touch with any of your castmates at all? Like
no,
really? Oh, okay. Yeah, because
I mean, I've had them on Facebook. I think the person that I kept in touch with the most. I mean, like I'm excluding like Cedric and all those guys. Those guys are my buddies. You know, they're like family. So, but the castmates, the person that I last talked to was probably Elvis.
Okay.
Elvis, cool guy. We're both into like hip hop and stuff like that. You know, he's a real, you know, open-minded dude. He's down for whatever. He's willing to try stuff, you know, and he's good at critiquing and stuff like that too. So, I mean, it's whatever. It's Elvis, man. That's my dude. But the other guys. After filming was done, we probably kept in touch on Facebook for a bit. I kept in touch with Duomo for a bit. Me, my wife and I, we still talk to Whitney every once in the blue moon.
Yeah, because she was from Lansing.
Yeah,
right?
she's from Michigan too, and she's also like down the road, like family, you know.
Yeah.
Because back when we were younger, we used to play soccer with her brothers and stuff too. So
okay, that's cool.
And your dad, my dad, they know
her
parents and stuff like that. and then her parents know my in-laws in Canada and stuff like that too. So Hmong people from
Right.
we just all know each other.
No, like when they were filming in Michigan, I know they were staying at a hotel in Troy. Did you ever go by there, or you just like after you do your set, you just come home?
We hung out at the hotel a lot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I would go to work. Like the days that I film, I would go to work first, or either depending on what time I filmed. If I filmed in the morning, I go film and I go to work at night. My place was pretty cool about it because my manager's like, oh my god, you're with Clint Eastwood, whatever. So he let me do whatever. But some days when I didn't want to work, I'd just be like, oh, we're still filming. Like, I'd just bullshit. Like, we're still filming. I probably won't be back to work till like Friday. He's like, oh, do your thing, man. Do your thing. You know, you're a superstar now. You gotta do it. Work is slow anyways. I'm like, all right. But yeah, we hung out at the hotel, man. And like, the one thing I do like about being in Hollywood is the money's good. It's fucking great. You know what I'm saying?
Did they pay you all at once, or was it just like a weekly thing?
I got paid weekly, and the signing bonus.
Okay.
Part of it, and you know, of course, the residuals and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like awesome. I'm like, wow, you know.
Do you still get that?
I still get it. It's dwindled down a lot though, you know.
Yeah.
It went from like grands to like hundreds, but whatever.
Dude, that's fucking awesome, man.
It always comes like when I want to buy something, you know? Like, oh, my paycheck, I just paid all my bills and I only have money for like groceries and maybe some fishing stuff, and then like I really want this, you know. Oh, these new Jordans are coming out like in 2 weeks and they're the ones I want, but I can't buy them because I don't want to work overtime. And then look in the mail, there's a residual check. Like, all right, let's go. So it all works out, you know?
Yeah, but because I remember like when after it premiered in theaters and stuff, like seeing it on TV, like, oh, there's Lee right there. You know, like you got like a little screen time there, and then like I remember that was the first time like when our grandpa, he saw you in that movie, was on TV.
Yeah.
And he was watching that shit. And he's like, oh, that's Clint Eastwood, because you know he loves Clint Eastwood. And
right.
I was telling hey Gramps, look at that. Who is that right there? I was pointing at the TV. He was looking. It's like, oh, that's Lee.
Yeah, man. But you know, I don't. You know me, man. As long as you know me, I don't let things like that get to my head.
Yeah, no, I mean it's good to, you know. It's crazy because like to see you gone through that, like that, I don't want to say phase, but like just to go through that part of your life, it was just, that's a crazy learning experience, man. Like because I find it ironic how you feel, how you were just like about it, like you didn't care much about it, and then it just all came at you like just riding the wave kind of thing, you know.
Right. That's just how I do things, though. I just whatever comes at me, I just go with it. Like it's never. It comes with what you learn when you're growing. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you grow up. Like my dad always told me to just, regardless of whatever happens, just stay humble, and stay blunt the way I am. That's the way I am. You know. So Hollywood can never make me Hollywood.
Yeah. Like I remember it was like during the times you guys were filming, it was after when you introduced me to the other Hmong actors. It was like you guys had like Clint Eastwood at the soccer tournament or something like that, right?
No. Are you talking about the picnic?
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah, the production company themselves, they had a softball picnic, and then they invited us, and I took my wife and kids there, and that's where like we got to chill with Clint and stuff like that. Like when I first met him, I called him Mr. Eastwood. He's like, "Oh, you're cool. Just call me Clint." Like, all right, you know. And you seen on my Facebook, I got a picture of with him, him and me. There's him with Bella, and then there's even one with him and with my wife. I really wanted to take my Nitai there.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't at that time, you know.
Yeah. That would have been pretty cool. I mean, did you meet his son at all? Did you meet Scott Eastwood?
I probably met him, but didn't even know it was him.
Because it's crazy. Because like his first, I think it was his first one was in Gran Torino, right? His first scene.
Yeah.
And he gets called out by those black guys, and then now
he's trying to be Super Spade. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you see him. He's like in Fast and Furious and all these other movies now, which is crazy.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy. Like after production and everything was done too. Like I even have, I don't know where I put it, but it's somewhere in the house. But I have Clint's number and his email, direct email. But you know me, I'm not the type of person that was like, hey, you got a movie role for me, you know. I just never looked at it. I just thought it was cool to just have it.
Yeah, that just like for for memory and shit.
Right. I'm not gonna call the guy. Like, hey, I heard you got a movie coming out and you're looking for a big Asian guy. Yeah, that's just. But yeah, man, he was really cool. Like, he even approached me one time. He was like, "Hey, Lee, I noticed you don't really stay afterwards after you're done filming. You just kind of take off." I'm like, "Yeah, this is cool, but you know, once my job is done, it's done." He's like, "So what do you do after this? You know?" I'm like, "I hang out with my family, or most of the time, like today, it's really nice, so I'm going fishing." And he's like, "Oh man, where do you go fishing?" I'm like, Lake St. Clair, you know, Detroit River, whatever. He's just like, "I would love to go, but I don't think these guys would let me go." So like we conversated quite a bit, and this was only after like the first week, because you know we film 5 days a week, whatever. And then he noticed that, and then the second week, he was like, "Hey Lee, how you doing?" Like when he saw me, he would like, "Hey, how you doing?" and shake my hand, and so I'm like, "Man, Clint Eastwood's my friend," you know. It was pretty cool. Like that scene where, you know, when the Mexicans are in their car and then we're in our car crossing paths and, you know, pulling Uzis out the fucking window, whatever. That scene was hilarious. If you were on the set, the camera just kept rolling. I don't know why, but the thing was, we stopped. No one said stop. We were just talking shit to the Mexican guys. They were talking shit to us. Next thing you know, we all got out the car. We started fighting each other. They just kept filming. And like, when they finally said, like, it was still quiet though. Like, we were just like fake fighting, whatever. And then when they finally said cut, everyone was laughing their asses off. They're like, "Oh, it's so good," but it's not what we wanted in the movie. You know, they just wanted it to be quick. You know, the gun scene.
Yeah.
That was hilarious though. Like Cedric, you can hear Cedric laughing. You can hear Clint over there. You know.
Now because I know I watched some of the behind the scenes stuff, and I saw that like Clint Eastwood wanted you guys to just be as natural as you can be, just like kind of be yourself type thing. So were a lot of those, I guess, those scenes of just you and the other gangbangers, was it just more like ad-libbing, really? Like they kind of gave you like a general idea of what you had to do, and y'all just say whatever y'all wanted to say? Was it kind of like that?
To tell you the truth, like, he told us to act natural, but he didn't tell us to say anything.
Oh, okay.
So if you heard anything like, "Yeah, motherfucker," like that was all like audio recorded in editing.
Okay.
The only lines that we said was when we was looking, like, my only line in the movie was Cobra Jet engine. When we were looking at the Gran Torino in the driveway, that was my only line, and even then they edited my voice.
Yeah, you could hear the audio difference in
because like I sound like a white dude, you know. Like, look, Cobra Jet engine, that's my voice, and you watch the movie, you're like, "That's a Cobra Jet engine." Like,
you sound more like a Latino.
Like, no Hmong person says that, nor do they know that a Gran Torino has a Cobra Jet engine, you know. And then like we had some takes. We did have some like funny takes, you know, like when we walked up and I was like, "That thing's got VTEC," you know, or like, "Is that a 2J or does it have turbo?" Stuff like that. It was pretty funny, but we still had to follow the script.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, like Clint also, like the way he films. Any movie production for any movie usually takes up to like six months to a year, depending on how you want it, you know. But he's been in the industry so long that he knows exactly what he wants. So even if like you feel it's a bad take, he'll be like, "Yeah, just cut this. That's good. Yeah," and he'll take that.
Right.
You know? That's why like we finished like in 2.5 months.
Damn.
It was like most of our parts 2.5, 3 months. And what was cool was the Gangsters was there from day one to the end.
Nice. So like it wasn't like, "All right, your job is done, then y'all can just leave" type thing, right?
Yeah, like they do send-offs, you know, like, "Oh, this is this person's last day, blah blah blah," you know. But because the Gangsters were day one to the end, because the last scene that we shot was when we got arrested.
Okay.
After we killed Clint, and that was an amazing scene. Like I was on the I was on the balcony.
Yeah.
Like after that scene was done, like when they hit the button for all the blood splatter and stuff. Like from my point of view, I was like, oh, that's so awesome, you know. They say cut. Oh, that was great. I was just like, oh my god, that was so cool, you know.
Now, when you rewatch your scenes, do you wish you could have done something a little bit different at all, or ad lib something different?
No, I think I played my part right.
Yeah.
You know, just the big goofy gangster wannabe dude.
Yeah,
you know?
the big body on the
big
group.
body, but really I'm just like a teddy bear. You know, I'm just there for intimidation, but really, like they just drag me along so I can just look big. You know, I played that part right.
Yeah.
You know, like the grandma was throwing me around. You know.
Speaking of that, like, you know, that scene where you guys go after B or Tao, and you guys drag him off the porch. I was watching those like behind the scene clips on YouTube where you guys were like, you know, pushing the family up. It looked like you were playing like flag football out there, like trying to keep everyone at bay, and at the same time y'all just cussing each other out and stuff.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Because like you may see it like that, but at the same time, that's when they're filming our feet too.
Yeah.
Because they want to, you know, get the wrestling around with the feet and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And knocking over his gnome and shit, you know. Did you see that part?
I saw some stuff on YouTube. It's just like they just had like multiple takes where like, because the reason I was asking about like the whole ad lib thing, because like those scenes, Dora would come up and like he'll say something like, you know, kind of just say the lines a little bit differently. That's why I figured they let you guys have like a general outline of your script and then just kind of ad lib here and there.
Like they wanted us to freestyle it, so like even me and Whitney and, you know, the Hmong lady that played, you know, Tao's mother.
Yeah.
The three of us were like, since you're the big guy, you should just like hold us by our hair and like keep us on the ground. I'm like, what? You know, stuff like that. And then during the filming, like you tend to get in the mix of acting too, you know.
Yeah.
So like I forgot how big I actually am. You know, so like you gotta react to everything. So I felt someone like touch my back. I was like, and then when that happened, like the whole crew was laughing. Cedric was like, "Dude, you're so soft." I'm like, "I know, right?" He's like, "The grandma touched you." I'm like, "Oh, it was the grandma? She's so strong." You know, and so you just get a mix because like it's not what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I do. I'm not an actor, but it was cool. I wish they would have kept that scene though after we wrestled and like we knocked over his gnome, because you know he pulls up the gun and he's like, get off my lawn, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And after we scatter to our car or whatever, and everybody goes home, like right then and there, right after that scene, we all get to see, you know, we all got behind the camera with the director because he's filming Clint, right? Clint's just. You broke my fucking gnome. Oh, no. I was like, oh, you better keep that. That's so cool. You better keep that. Like, we got to see everything, man. Like, because it's our first experience of Hollywood. So they let us, you know, just watch the screens and stuff. Clint would be like, hey, Lee, come here. What did you think about this? Like, the drive-by scene.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know, he's like, so, because I wasn't in the car. So like when they did the drive-by scene, I was actually like standing next to Clint while because he's got his own, you know, tablet.
Yeah.
And then the director's got his camera, so he can see everything that the cameraman sees. After they said cut, he's like, "What you think? Was that good?" I'm like, "Yeah, that wasn't bad, dude. That was pretty good." He's like, it wasn't bad." I'm like, "Well, it was pretty good for a drive-by, for a movie, you know, theatrical, you know, whatever, but." If you want to be more realistic, you should make them drive around the block and reload and come back. And he's like, oh, that's too much. I'm like, I'm just saying. And he's just like, I get what you're saying, but you thought it was good? I'm like, yeah, it was good, dude. It was good.
Like, I don't want it that real, you know?
I'm like, yeah, it was good. Everything was edited, though. The Civic was not loud. You know, it was a quiet car. Like, everything's quiet. Like, sounds and stuff, it's all edited.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like the exhaust was edited. You know, LP's music, they added it to the car as, you know, it's driving off and stuff like that.
Okay.
They had to break the window
On the Civic?
On the Civic, just so the window will go all the way down because it's a Civic. The window only goes halfway down.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you gotta remember, Sonny Smokey. He pulls on a Uzi, So when we first filmed it, we didn't know the window was only half, right? So he's like, "How many bullets you got?" And he's like, "The window's only halfway down." And I'm in a passenger seat. I'm just like, I just thought it was funny, dude. And like even before, like to me, when I hear gangsters, I don't ever picture like these lai Hmong and stuff. I picture like mobsters, what I'm saying? I picture like motherfuckers with Tommy guns and suits, and they pull up in like SUVs and stuff, right? And after the movie, it's a Honda Civic. I was like, oh, we're those gangsters.
Bunch of hoodlums, right?
Yeah, a bunch of fucking wanksters. That's what we were. Like, I'm like, wait, you got me, you got Duo, Elvis, Sonny, and Jerry. How the hell are we gonna fit in this Civic?
Yeah, that's the funny part. I've seen comments on YouTube where they're like, how are they gonna get that kid in the car? He's gonna sit in the trunk, like, because he was filled that Honda Civic already.
It was off the wall, man. Like, it's the movie world, so some things you really have to look at to be like, that's just crazy. Like, the end scene when we shoot Clint.
Yeah.
when I watched the premiere and I watched when the camera zooms up to Elvis. If you don't really pay attention, it's just like, okay, whatever, he's got a gun. But if you think about it, it's kind of overkill,
Yeah.
He's got a Mac in his hand. Like, I got a revolver. Some other guys got pistols and stuff, but he's got like a Mac in his hand. Like a fully automatic Mac. And I'm just like, they don't even need us for this scene.
That's what's funny too. Is like I bought the movie, right, and I rewatched it a few days ago. And it just like everyone just like pop 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 pop, and you see like all the bloodshot on Clint's body, and they go to Elvis's like camera scene like
it's got two hands like this. It's crazy. Like, that's overkill. Like, Clint should.
Sorry about that. That was an alarm on my podcast. We'll just pick it back up from here. I'll probably edit that out. But yeah, like it was just so funny because like how the camera, it just like the angles just switched to like y'all to Clint, then to Elvis, and then just like holding with both hands.
Like, if anything, Clint should have melted. that was pretty crazy. But yeah, man, filming it's a good experience, to be honest. Like, it's got its pros and cons and stuff. Like, the food was great. And just being honest, the people aren't that great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can honestly say, like, Hollywood made the people that's in the industry, that's done it for a long time, some of them can be pretty snobby,
Yeah.
And that's just not my environment. That's the stuff that I didn't like about it,
Right. Okay.
Like,
you can kind of feel that vibe, right?
Yeah. Like, this isn't for me. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't hang out with this fucker.
Yeah.
He's so fucking arrogant. I couldn't do it.
Now, have you tried doing any other things besides after Gran Torino? Like, have you tried for like any other auditions or short films like that?
After Gran Torino, I did get a few emails. There's one for, what was that movie with? Remember that movie with Hugh Jackman and the robots, the fighting robots? Oh
yeah. I know you're talking about like I forgot what the title was. I know you're talking about though. He was like the dad. That was like an ex-boxer, right?
Right. Yeah. I got an email. They wanted me to interview for that because you remember the bad guy is a Japanese dude.
Yeah.
And then he's got his old little Foot Clan, whatever. So they wanted me to audition for that. I never went.
Oh, okay.
Because I just didn't want to go.
Yeah, because like I noticed like there's been that trend. I think when our previous mayor or governor, they were allowing like sets to go in Michigan. So that's where there was like those couple years where there was like films left and right in Detroit or especially downtown.
Yeah, Granholm, she actually helped Michigan a lot with the film industry.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, Hollywood, come to Michigan, do whatever you want here,
Had like that urban setting.
Yeah,
You know,
blow
like,
up all the houses.
yeah. No, like, cause I'll be interviewing Chin next Saturday, and I remember when he did some of your. I'll be talking about this stuff with him too, but like I remember like you did some of his short films with him, right?
Yeah. Well, it started off with Big Lee Hyung and his brother Yang. It's the 48-hour film festival stuff, you know, and they're like, "Hey, superstar," you know. So we're boys, and they're like, "You want to do this short film?" I'm like, "I don't care." So, I mean, people check it out on YouTube. There's one called what is it called?
It's like that strawberry, right?
Strawberry something. It's so that I hate it so much. Like every time I watch it, I laugh my ass off because Chin is just so gay.
Like he had like that Reno 911 kind of thing too, right? The short shorts and all that.
Like, sorry if I said gay. I don't have anything against, you know, homosexuals and stuff, but you know, he was the homosexual cop in there, and then, like, he was just obsessed with me for some reason, and I was just playing myself.
Yeah.
So he's just this rent-a-cop guy. He's not even a real cop, you know. And he's just like trying to fill me up and stuff like that. Oh man, I love that guy. But that was hilarious. Yeah, there was that one, and then there was the Western one that we did.
Oh yeah. I saw
where we bopped for apples and stuff. Because you know you have to come up with a script, film everything, edit everything in 48 hours.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge of it. So we're like, oh man. So when we got the script, like, oh great, we drew, because you have to draw for your category, your genre, whatever. So it's like, oh man, we drew a Western. I'm just like, huh? And then at first, Lee wanted to just do like a spaghetti film, you know, where we do stuff, but it's just like, just the music playing with subtitles and stuff, whatever. But then, like, you know me, I'm stupid, so I'm just like, why don't we just like bob for apples for, like, you know, when they do like the standoff, whatever, at high noon. They're like, that's so dumb, but it works. I'm like, yeah, because we're a comedy crew, right? So that worked out for that one. And then Clean Slate was the last one I did. We wanted to you know, mold over to something a little bit more serious. So like we even went to the viewing. So when they're like, oh, it's Got Rice Productions, like the whole crowd was like, oh my god, we love these guys, they're so funny, blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, they know who we are. And then, you know, they know me and Chin, of course, from every one that we filmed. But when we did Clean Slate, it was very different. They were expecting to laugh and stuff, but it was serious. You know, Chin was fighting, and like there's plot twists and stuff. You know, Chin got shot at the end.
Yeah, I like that one. That one was really good for being a short film. I like that. I thought that one was really good. The fact that it was different from all your other comedic stuff, right? So like it had like the very serious tone to it and everything.
Yeah, they're like, Lee, you just play the boss. I'm like, all right. Went back to my Gran Torino role, basically. But I thought it was good. Like everybody that viewed it, they were like, oh man, there's no comedy, but it was good. We didn't think you guys had it in you, but you guys are really good. You know, like we choreographed the fight scene and stuff. My brother actually got hit with the pool stick.
I saw the outtakes, and it was supposed to be where they just like missed, but then they really hit him.
Yeah. Fucking Chen. Yeah, he really got hit with that. But what I loved the most was like, just me and the boys. We just came together and wrote the script, and then like the plot twist was probably the best part. Yeah. Where, you know, he shoots his own brother, which is Chen. Yeah. Kills him. And then I kill him. So I get a clean slate. Right. That's what it was all about.
Now, do you still keep up with those guys too? I know that they use that title of Clean Slate to be Clean Slate Productions now, and then like Chin and Dao, and like they have their own little group. They're still doing kind of like
Dao. He's still doing his thing, like, you know, being the cameraman and stuff like that. He's real good at the. But like as far as like keeping in touch with them, I see those guys every now and again. Depends if there's like special occasions going on, because, you know, we have you know, we have our schedules. They, you know, they have their families. They got to do what they got to do. You know, we're old now. We're adults now.
Yeah.
Everyone has to adult now, so it's different. We can't just, hey, let's go to the bar, because we just don't do that no more.
Now, have they ever tried to call you back up to see if you want to do like something on the side at all?
Oh no. Chin knows better. He knows I don't like that shit.
Yeah, because like I got to be an extra in one of their films. It was Flyboys, and I'm in the background like in their little terminal. So I was like where I am, you know,
like Peter Griffin.
Yeah. I mean, I had that was like my very first experience on even like some sort of production set.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I thought it was pretty cool, like how they're running with the cameras and like everyone has to do their own, like not just the actors or the extras, but like the actual production group. Like they have to like make sure the lighting is right, and like it got pretty hectic because I got there and it was already like I think they were already like 12 or 18 hours in, so the tension was there, right? So you see them just like we gotta get this shit down, you know, like we can't be wasting all this time. And so like there was like one scene where their main two actors are walking down the hallway, and like you can see their camera guys, and like Dow's running around with the camera too, so there's like two different angles going, and they have to cross paths, and like they have to make sure it's steady, and they have to keep a pace with the actors
and
like
make sure they don't capture each other.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, dude! Like that's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dow does a lot of film study for that type of stuff, man. That's why he's getting a lot better with that. But like in like the real professional world, like when we were filming Gran Torino, man, they have so many tools to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's even parts where they carry the cameraman to do certain angles, you know?
Holy shit.
You know? And certain shots that you can't shoot, that's where, like, the big old crane comes along.
Yeah,
you know?
was that when, like, it came down from around the car, right? And then, like, you can see yourself in the passenger view?
Yeah.
Now, did you look at the camera, though?
No.
Oh, it kind of, from what I saw, it looked like you were, like, looking at the camera come down that angle.
No, I was probably just wondering, like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, like every time the camera came around, I was just like, ugh.
Like, oh my god, no!
Don't look. They're gonna see your eyes, and then when they see your eyes, you're just gonna smile like, hello. But yeah.
Now, what do you think of like Dual Moore? Like he's actually getting somewhere with this whole Hollywood thing, and it's a big deal for Hmong actors, especially, and just Hmong people in general. You know, because we don't have that kind of, I guess you could say, like, role model for that kind of industry, right?
Right.
And so, like, you know, he's got that role of Chen Po in Mulan, and I'm pretty sure you both follow each other on Facebook. And like I saw his progression in that, like how from the weight gain to the weight loss.
Yeah.
And that's insane. Like how he was doing that in that amount of time.
It's a lot of stuff you gotta do for filming, man, and it's a lot of sacrifice. But like, more power to Duo, you know. Like the first time I ever met him was in Gran Torino, and then when I seen his resume, like, okay, he's the real deal. This is what he wants his life to be, you know.
Yeah.
Like, good for him. Everybody else is just like, yeah, we got on, and then like now we're filming, and then after we're done filming, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be Hollywood now. I'm like, no. You know how many Asians there are in this world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like Hmong person is like a role specific for every movie, you know. It's always just gonna be an Asian person, and there's like billions of us in the world that can probably do the job a lot better than what we do. That's the way I looked at things. You got to think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be like, yes, I filmed this. I know Clint Eastwood. Now it's over. I'm taking over Hollywood. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Now, what was I gonna ask you? Like, oh damn, I'm drawing a blank here. I was gonna ask you something too. I was like, damn, I had a good question.
Sorry, folks. Ricky's starstruck.
Yeah, no.
I know he sees me every weekend.
No, that's the thing too, man. Because like, man, I remember the time frame perfectly because I was in 8th grade and I had a buddy of mine rip the movie for me before it came out on DVD. Right, and so no one believes me, right? Like, dude, like my cousin's a gangbanger in that movie. Like, no, they probably all your cousins because you know all y'all look alike anyway. So I showed photos of us together. You know, I'm like, dude, that's him. That's my cousin. You know, like, holy shit, like. And like after you took me to Dave & Buster's to meet everyone for the first time, and I was like, dude, that was such a, like I was telling all my buddies, like, dude, that like meeting them was pretty cool because to know that they were like, you know, they had an actual role in movies and stuff, and they weren't just like some extra, like walking around pedestrian.
Right. One-liners. Cobra Jet engine. Yeah, man. Like you were probably you and Yellamy were probably like the first two people that came to my mind when we were going to Dave Buster's, because I'm a little older. I'm like, that's not my scene. I better take Ricky or something.
Yeah, because I remember meeting B for the first time, and he's just like how he is in the movie, kind of like, I don't want to say awkward, but he's like, very.
B's a dork.
Like, yeah, like, he had like that kind of sluggishness to him.
I love that kid.
Yeah.
He's a dork. Like, that scene in the alleyway. I didn't realize I was like holding him so tight, but at the same time, like after they said cut, he's like, "Man, you trying to kill me?" I'm like, "Nah, man, you're just weak." And then we laughed it off, but like, he's like, "Man, Lee's over here trying to kill me." I'm like, "Man, you better go work out or something with your weak ass."
What's funny is like that scene too. You're on the cover of Gran Torino, or at least on the backside, where
you can see my arm.
Yeah. So like that's pretty cool. Then did you get paid for kind of like for that too? Does that count as a residual?
That's all in residuals.
Oh, okay.
Like if that was the case, they would have paid me for a lot more stuff, because my Nissan was in the scene. They're not gonna do that type of stuff. That's just if you were to do something like that and try to charge them for it, then you're just a petty ass person.
Yeah.
But if you land a role like that, you in the back picture, it just happens to show your arm choking the kid, then you should just be happy about it.
Like, that's me right there.
Like, oh, that's my arm. I'm killing Tao. But yeah, residuals are cool, man. Bought me a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I never actually like thought of that too, because I knew actors did get that, but it never really dawned on me to know that like even today you still kind of get a little bit of something.
Right.
Yeah, because they still from time to time they still show it on TV, and even a few months ago they had it on Netflix. Now,
right.
Did that count at all?
Mm-hmm. Any showing, like I get these small little like $20-$50 checks from like international. Like, oh, somebody watched it in Germany or something like that.
Oh, nice.
So I get a little check from that too. But like actors and stuff, they make the money that you see is like their signing bonuses and the contracts only. They don't show like the residuals and stuff. So if you see someone that landed a good ass fucking role for like many series, like say Avengers, you got Chris Evans, those dudes, right? Those guys are getting paid.
Yeah.
Like they get millions to be in a film, and then you still got to think about the royalties.
Yeah, all the toys and all the all the collectibles and whatnot and all
everything.
That.
That's just money in the bank because they're using your face for this action figure.
Yeah.
And then every time they play the movie, you get paid.
That's fucking insane.
And with those guys too, since they're like in SAG, the Screen Actors Guild and stuff, it's like a union. So the residuals, they have to pay a certain amount. Like with us, we weren't in the union. We were non-union actors.
Okay.
But Clint was such a nice guy that he's like, give these guys lines so we can put them in the credits. That was his idea.
Okay.
We were only going to get paid our hourly wage and no royalties afterwards because we were non-union. But Clint was like, give them lines, make them SAG for this film, and make sure they get paid.
That's badass, man.
So I was like, oh, that's very cool of him. Because Clint is filthy rich.
Yeah.
Come on, how many films has he made, Too many for me to count.
Yeah. No, that's very generous of him, too. I mean, like just for him to be considered that, you guys are non-union, and then, like, it's a big deal for it. I think he probably saw it in the long run, like, it's not just you guys on the set. It's like, on the long run, there's going to be tons of Hmong people watching this, like, it's a big deal.
Yeah. And because of that, because of him changing that, there was a change in our contract that we had to re-sign.
Okay.
Because when we first signed on, you could read the contract. It says, like, for example, it'll say, like, $10K for this signature here on, and then this is your hourly wage from here on until the film is done. And then once he mentioned the royalties and stuff like that, we changed it to where the signing bonus went up, like, another $5,000. And the hourly wage that we got paid for filming was even higher. And then, you know, the residuals, the royalties and stuff like that. Even when the movie premiered, we got a big check for that. And then when the movie dropped on DVD for the first time, we got a big check for that. You
Holy
know?
shit.
So it was pretty crazy.
Now, some of the Hmong actors caught some flack for this too, but like the whole like how he portrayed Hmong people in the movie. Now, what did you think of that? Like, just like some of the minor things, like how they were explaining the Hmong people or like the culture. Some people.
Oh, you mean by like watching the movie itself? Yeah. I thought it was funny.
Because like there's like the scene where all the old ladies they bring him food and stuff. Like when I was watching, I was like, I know damn well Hmong people don't do that shit because I ain't doing it.
All right, people that don't know about Hmong people, if you're listening to this, Hmong people do not give a fuck about you. If you save someone's child, they'd be like, "Thank you. We're not gonna bring you fucking food every day." That's not how it's built. And then like the whole patting on the head with the soul and stuff, all that gibberish, or the slaying of the chicken in the backyard. Oh my god, we're not that caveman like. But at the same time, like Hmong people, if you don't know Hmong people, we're very like disclosed.
Yeah.
You know.
We try to just keep to ourselves and stay in the community type thing.
Unless something happens to our own.
Yeah.
You know, then it's different. But if it's our own doing stuff to our own, even then it's kind of disclosed. But like, you know, nowadays, you know, millennials, it's 2019. People are getting more, you know, smart. They're opening up more, like finally opening their eyes and realize, like, you know, this isn't Laos, this isn't Thailand. We don't have to live this way anymore. You know, power to you. Now that you're open minded, you know you have freedom. You know, like you don't have to, like women, you don't have to marry this guy because you were, you know, betrothed to him when you were 7 months old, whatever.
You know, like all that old school tradition.
Yeah, you don't have to follow that stuff. And I'm really happy that, you know, the Hmong people have come a long way and they're finally, you know, opening up to these type of things and, you know, just being more lenient, you know, like not so strict with like handshakes versus like hugs and stuff like that. You know, like when you open yourself like that, you really start to see the meaning of the words shilu, you know.
Yeah.
Before it's like Pongyacha shilu, like no, you guys are just greedy.
Yeah, and for those who don't know what that means, it's just like for Hmong people love to use the term love because it's the whole concept that we don't have a country as a people, you know. So
it's just an abusive word for Hmong people. Like, oh, kachi holumbira, like you don't drink this beer, you don't love me. Like, well, I guess I don't love you then. I'm not fucking drinking it.
Try to guilt trip people and shit.
Right. There's a lot less of that stuff now. Like, I only do that like to have fun, like with you guys. You know, like finish when I finish. But if it gets down and serious, I will get down serious. Like, I'm not gonna play around with the drinking games and stuff like that. If someone can't drink, I'm not gonna force them to drink.
Yeah.
You know. Like, oh, you have to go and give this drink to the new son-in-law over there or brother-in-law over there. I'm like, man, he looks like he's weak. I'm not about to give him shit. You know, just let him be happy.
Now, do you have any like memorable, anything that was memorable, like outside of the whole Gran Torino thing, the whole experience, like just anyone in general that besides meeting Clint, was there, you know, I know you said you were pretty close, you were kind of close with Elvis because you guys related on hip hop, but was there any like moments where you look back and just like, man, I love when I did this or type that kind of thing?
I loved hanging out with Elvis because we clicked.
Yeah.
You know, he was a very outspoken person, and he does critique you a lot on certain things. If he doesn't like it, he'll let you know. You know. But that's what I loved about him, and I like. I'm an asshole too, so like I like to clown on him and just be like, "Hey, real funny," bring that out of him. But like a memorable moment with the crew was the rest of the crew. They thought they were too cool for us. I can honestly tell you that right now. You know, the rest of the Hmong people, you know, they're like, "Oh, we're Hollywood. Fuck you guys."
Yeah.
You know, but I was like, "What's up, Elvis? Man, you want to hang out?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, dude. What are you gonna do?" Like, I took him to the strip club. And like we went to Deja Vu Lansing and we had fun. We drank. We got to the strip club at like 9:30. Threw money like it was nothing, you know. And then afterwards we went out. We even went out and had breakfast with strippers, you know. We went to like the little diner that they go to. There was like about 10 strippers that was hanging out with us, you know. And Elvis was just sitting there debating about race and culture and religion with one of the dancers that, you know, we know. And like we're just laughing our asses off, and then she's like, "Are you mad, bro? You mad, bro?" Stuff like that. He's like, "I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just like, this is debate, blah 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 blah." They just keep going on. I'm just over here, you know, like Kermit the Frog, just. But that was real cool too, though, you know. And after we were done, you know, Elvis was like, "Man, I had a good time. I had a good time. You know how to have a good time." I'm like, "Of course, man. Anytime, bro. Anytime you come to town, let me know." So like when he does come to town, he does call me up, you know.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good thing you guys still keep in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like a lot of like how you were speaking on the whole Hollywood thing, I think that is true too. Because like you kind of get big headed, and you know you kind of forget where your roots are from. You know, I feel like that's what kind of in the same way it kind of ruins a lot of Hmong people who try to like succeed in media industry. You know, because they kind of forget where they're rooted, and so they want to explore so bad to where they kind of just stop being humble. You know, and it kind of just ruins their chances. And then when they fall, everyone just jumps on them. Like it's insane how it's like, like how, you know, they just want to do something so bad to where it kills it for them. Yeah,
but like, you know, a few years ago, like I had like 500 something Facebook friends, and I was in a moment in time in my life where I just hated everybody. So I deleted like everybody. Like, I didn't want to fuck with nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I think I deleted you, your dad, like, all my aunties. I didn't even friend my dad. My mom still tried to friend me. I'm like, nope. The only friend I had on Facebook was my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for, like, the past 2 years, I don't even go on social media. I might go on Instagram, you know, like, check out, like, hot chicks or something.
Yeah.
But that's about it. But my wife, she always keeps me in touch with, like, social media, like... remember when Iron Fist came out?
Yeah. Duo was in it too.
And Duo, he had a big fuss about it. My wife told me about it. He had a tantrum about it on social media. Like, oh, it's Iron Fist. Why has he got to be white like that? Like, I'm like, why is he arguing with that? Stan Lee and those guys wrote the comic book, and it was a white dude.
Yeah. You know, for our comic book guys, like especially me, because like I saw the whole that too, and I'm just like, people who don't read comics don't realize like it's someone who's transitioned into Asian culture. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of like the whole. I like to like pick and point the whole DC Marvel thing where it's like he's practically Oliver Queen that learned kung fu. You know, like that's what he is. And so like, you know, not just Duel, but there were some other YouTube artists too. Like Kev Jumba was on it. Right. Yeah, and he was saying about it, like why wasn't Iron Fist or Asian? No, like
you have to read the comics.
Yeah, that's the source, you know. Yeah. But I mean, I get what they're going for too, because like I you know, you see this whole Asian movement, not just for Hmong people, but for everyone in general. It's just like like kind of like how black people have Black Panther, and they have their movement and how tight knit they are, right? So Asians are kind of doing that themselves. And I don't know, have you seen Crazy Rich Asians at all, or any of those Asian American films?
You know me, I'm not much of a movie goer. You know, I only watch what I want to watch. Like the last movie I seen in theaters was Endgame, and it's because she wanted to watch it. I haven't even finished Infinity War yet because I fell asleep. But the last real movie Endgame was the last movie I seen in theaters. No wait, Detective Pikachu, because of the kids. But the last movie I wanted to see was Jurassic Park because I like dinosaurs. And then before that, it's Deadpool. But other than that, I'm not much of a movie goer. Like, I don't really care about the race card. Like when I see it being pulled, though, I think no matter what color you are, you can be Asian, black, you know, white, whatever. When people pull the race card, I just think it's bullshit. You know, I don't like that kind of stuff. Like, you just want to use that to your advantage. Yeah. You need to just love and hate everyone equally. That's the way it should be. Like, you should never pull the race card like, oh, Black Panther came out, you know, Black Power, blah, 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 this and that. I'm like, the movie wasn't the greatest movie in the world. It was good. Yeah.
Like, I felt like culturally what they did was amazing. Mm-hmm. You know, I thought that was a really powerful thing. It was a very powerful movement. it showed like you don't have to always have white superheroes, but
right.
that's all the writers and whatnot. But still, like at the same time, there's you got to look at the other side too. It's just you're advocating or pushing for something else that shouldn't really have to be that pushed. Because if you feel like you want to be equal, you shouldn't have to always
push a different agenda. From what it is, Like I said, Black Panther is not the greatest movie in the world, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I bought it. That's how much I liked it. If I like something and I bought it, that means I liked it that much. And I Wakanda forever for like a month. No matter where I went. Just throwing stupid shit out there like Wakanda forever. But like the race card and stuff like that, like back to what we were talking about, like how people were like Asian people were getting mad because the dude playing Iron Fist wasn't Asian or stuff. That's just people being ignorant. You need to do your research before you want to chase this agenda like, oh, how come he's not Asian, or how come this guy's name is something, but he's not even like Native American, or he's not black, or he's not white. You gotta do your research first. Like there's so many Spider-Man movies out, right? They're all white. Then they finally did a CGI with the black kid. I talked to my coworker, and he's like, yeah, I need to see that, because it's a black kid in there. I'm like, it's because it's just a black kid, or you like it has nothing to do with Spider-Man? He's just like, we're not gonna talk about this. I'm like, okay, I'm just checking.
Yeah, I mean, these are like super sensitive topics, like especially with this industry, because I mean, you've had a taste of it, so it's just like you're walking on eggshells pretty much this whole time. You don't want to say or do something or represent something, and then you still get backfire for it anyway. So like, I feel like with that, it's just me personally, I feel like with those agendas, because movies, they're meant to push agendas. That's what they are.
Right.
But then like at the same time, it's just you want to go and just enjoy the damn film. So like that's how I saw it for Gran Torino. It's just like I went to go watch it and enjoyed it, but then how Hmong people are too, and they're the worst critics.
Yeah.
there were some Hmong people I know, they were like pointing out every little detail. I'm like, could you have done that better? Like, just enjoy the film, man. Like they're representing
just
us.
Watch the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with just watching the movie. Critique it afterwards.
Yeah.
But don't pinpoint everything at the same time. Just like having to sit through Power Rangers. Oh, that was rough. They CGI'd the Megazord and stuff. I'm just like, this is not my childhood. I can't watch this.
Now, I know you're a big Batman fan too. So how did you react when you saw Whitney her on the screen where she was like, the dinosaur, like she's like pointing out to Batman?
Yeah. When we see that, I was actually like the loudest person in the movie. I'm like, I know her. We were at Gran Torino, and everybody's just like, what?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just like, yes, Hmong people are in Gotham. Like we can be in Gotham now. It's not a big deal.
that was pretty cool. I'm like, oh man, she got to meet Batman. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous. Cause like, I'm really just, I'm Deadpool in a Batman suit though. That's me. I'm more of a troll than a serious freaking crime fighter. But yeah, when I seen Hmong people in Batman, that's something that I actually told myself, like, I wish I would have known about it. Even if I was just in the jail cell with them.
Right.
Like, I was in Batman. Look, there's me in the corner. I would have been so happy about it. Like, yeah, I was in Batman. See that guy in the back? Just looking. That's me, dude. That would have been awesome.
Now, do you think there's like, especially again, just bringing it back to just Hmong people in general in the media, do you think there will be a time where we will see our people like start doing like mainstream stuff like that, like having their own productions, their own cinema, whatever?
I mean, you're seeing it now.
Yeah.
But it's just not to where they want it to be.
Right.
I guess you could say.
Yeah, because I know that the people, when they talk about it, they want to have it like, bam, like we're like Avengers like, you know, like they
Yeah.
want Hmong people like that. I know we're still building up towards that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, with us as a people just finally getting a taste of that. Do you think we can actually succeed in doing that?
We can succeed if we know how to shilu.
Yeah.
You know, you have to remember, like, Hmong people are very prideful people, but at the same time, if you want to do this type of stuff, you have to let the pride go, because you have to listen and learn from one another, and you, like, movies and Hollywood type shit like this, it's a whole team. And if you're talking about like a whole team of Hmong people with their prides and their egos, they gotta let it all go.
Yeah.
And just work for what they wanna get. You know, you gotta go from the cameraman, the camera crew, to the crew members, to the production, like producers, directors, and then to the people that's gonna fund it. Like, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you follow the whole Hmong media stuff like that, because you know how Hmong people have, like, they like to do their own movies and whatnot on the side. I know they were, like, was it a year or two ago? They were trying to do like a Patreon where they were trying to actually make a Hmong drama like series, and like how you were saying, you know, it just, I think that the whole funding idea is actually a really big part in our community, because we'd like to see that, but then no one's like helping each other out.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, the Shilu part. You know? Like, can you be that, you know, I'm trying to find the word for it, but are you ever gonna find that one Hmong person that has that kind of funding and just be like, take it, just take it all, do whatever you want with it, show me what you got? I don't know. It's bright ideas and stuff to like certain people, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know, man. I see it. I see it's difficult, but I'd see it happening.
Now, have you seen that that Netflix film that was? I know some Hmong brothers did it. It was like that. It was a horror film. I forgot the name of it, but it looked like the guy. The guy looked like Joker on the cover. Damn, I forgot what was that name of that movie. But like they had like Hmong people. They had a scene where the Asian kid was like talking about how his aunt in Thailand died, right? And it was actually a lady in Hmong clothes. So I thought that was pretty cool, especially on a Netflix film. So
I think my wife's seen it.
Yeah.
And I think I've heard of it, but
I mean, so like, you know, just think about that, like how you were saying, you know, we're slowly, as a people, we're slowly getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting better at the whole understanding the whole like movie scene, production, the writing. So I can't wait to see a day where there's like a real legit Hmong artist out there who actually, you know, directed by this person, right? That'd be pretty sweet to see, you know, like,
yeah.
Because I would hella support that shit.
Like, that's what comes with my friendship with Chin and Down. You know, like, I hope nothing but the best for those guys.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see Chin's name directed by Chin Mong Yang, filmed by Dao Shizhou Yang. You know?
Yeah, because I don't know, they're one of the very few Hmong people who I know who are actually trying to pursue that.
Yeah.
Because I don't see a lot of Hmong crews or even production teams like trying to do that at all. Besides the whole mediocre soccer tournament.
I mean,
movies.
there's a lot of people that are pursuing it. It's
Yeah.
I think it's the perspectives that they have, and like the approaches that they're taking at it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a different approach at it, you know. And I honestly believe the more open-minded you are to it, the more successful you'll be. And the more you just do your research and just study about it. Like, Dao has gotten really good because he studies films, and he's always thinking, you know, like, how can I make this shot look better? Go look at this film. Oh, they did it like that. Okay, I can kind of take this but make it my own way, type of thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just go in there like, if they could do it, we could do it, and then you're just like all over the place. It doesn't work like that, you know.
With that freaking iPhone, you know, like, oh, there you go.
I'll just film this with a selfie stick. No, it doesn't work like that. But yeah, man. More power to the people that want to do it. Whoever's pursuing it, approaching it, want to do it, interested about it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Clean Slate Productions, to Dao, Chin, those guys, I can't wait to do my interview with Chin, because like his perspective on like just films and media, and like we have a bunch of nerdy stuff in comments and stuff. Besides that, like I just love to hear his thoughts on just the whole production side of it, because he's on the other side of the camera
right
now. He's not really doing the acting so much now, but he's on the other side. So I for next week when I talk to him, I'm looking forward to hearing his perspective on that. And then,
just make sure you're not talking about D&D the whole time.
right? He's the dungeon master when we were playing, so he's super creative.
He would be the dungeon master.
And he's always doing the voices and everything. Like there was a game we were playing, and he fucking. I thought we were gonna win, and he's like, "Oh, here it comes!" Bam, Sauron. I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!" Like he fucking demolished us. It was bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you know, but thanks for doing this, Lee. I really appreciate this, because you know, again, it's just, I feel like for podcasting now, it's a big deal to kind of just keep it as raw and real as this,
right?
You know, because it's the things we've said. I know we're gonna catch some flack for this.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Yeah, you're like, and you know, to those who are listening, if you have perspectives and ideas, man, like email Poplik Podcast on Facebook.com. You can DM me on Instagram, RickyVang92. DM me personally and throw your ideas at me.
He said Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. And then you could also reach out at poplikpodcast@gmail.com. That's our email for the podcast here. And again, just thanks to Poplik Podcast, to Andrew and to Mark. You know, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them, because I honestly had no idea how to podcast until it was Andrew's idea. You know, he just like, let's just start doing it.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad, you know, for your first time, you're natural, dude. Like
it's just talking.
Yeah. Because like, you know, I was telling you earlier, man. We just free flow. You know, we don't. It's not scripted. You know.
It's just talking, man. It's just like we're conversating without the alcohol.
Yeah. No.
So imagine we'll drink next time.
Yeah. Next time when you're free, we'll definitely do that. No, dude. Now that you kind of done this, definitely check out Mike Tyson's podcast. They're high the whole time.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I'm waiting for the feds to say it's okay. But yeah, man, this was cool, dude. You know, just a conversation. If I offended anybody, that's on you.
Yeah, man.
I'm not apologizing.
Yeah. No, it's you know, people gotta know how to just take these perspectives and look at it differently, man. I'm not gonna get mad if someone says something I don't like. It's just another person's perspective. You know, so you know, thanks again, man. I thought this was great. I enjoyed this a lot.
Right.
You know, just hearing your experience in Gran Torino, man. I feel like if I was older and I got to see that, I'd appreciate it more. As a kid, seeing it, I was like, oh, Lee's in my movie set. You know, I didn't think about it much. You know, but like now that I'm older and like more diving into films and production, all that stuff, that's a super neat thing. No one's gonna take that from you, man. That's forever yours. That experience.
Next time we do the podcast, we should do something like you're confessing your sins at the Catholic Church. We'll just like put a window between us.
Yeah, hopefully I can get some visuals soon. You know, we can try test that out. But you know, again, I'm just starting with this podcast, and I'm not expecting to go anywhere. I just want to do this just to, you know, kind of just. I find it more therapeutic, you know?
Right?
And you know, for me to just release the inner nerd in me, because I've been like reading and watching so much nerdy shit. I was like, I gotta talk about it, you know. So like, you know, this is a great way for me to do it. Yeah, but man, this was great. I enjoyed it a lot, you know, and we killed the time, man. Like, it was already over an hour already. we killed it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, do you have anything you want to plug at all? I know you're into the whole gaming thing. I see your setup here. You want to plug that at all?
I play League of Legends. I suck, but whatever. I play video games. Kills time. I work a lot of hours, and I love fishing.
No, I mean, like, do you want to plug your gamer tag to see if someone add you on League or something?
No. You don't want to play it by Elo, it's hell.
All right, so, you know, thanks again, and this is Spoiler Force Podcast. Thank you to those who's been listening. Again, usually I try to do my podcast on Sundays, but Saturday I'll be interviewing Hmong Yang, who is one of our close buddies, and he's actually a director, writer, he's an actor, and again, he's part of Clean Slate Productions. I'll be posting their Facebook page and the links and everything, so you guys can check them out. So shout out to them. Again, shout out to Andrew and Mark and Poplik Podcast. Shout out to Lee for letting me do this interview with him.
I was first, Chin.
Yeah, shout out to Clint Eastwood and all those guys, man. Like, if it wasn't for them, Hmong people wouldn't have something like this to look forward to.
You're my boy, Clint.
Yeah. So again, thanks again, man. This was great.
All right, man.
Have a good week, and enjoy this stuff. Read your comic books and watch your anime, man. So have a great time. If you enjoyed this episode, follow my Instagram at RickyVang92, RICKYVANG92, and follow Popluck Podcast on Facebook.com/PopluckPodcast.